Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off our presentation today on the Sustainable Development Goals. Today's focus is on global efforts to create a better, more sustainable future for all. We'll explore what these goals are, why they matter, and how we can contribute to achieving them. So, let's dive in and discover how we can make a positive impact together. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. The Millennium Development Goals are a set of 8 international objectives aimed at addressing some of the world's most pressing issues. All 193 United Nations member states, along with 23 international organizations, committed to achieving these goals by the year 2015. These commitments were officially established during the Millennium Summit in 2000, where leaders from around the world gathered to discuss global development. At that summit, they adopted the United Nations Millennium Declaration, which laid the foundation for these ambitious goals. This slide highlights how the MDGs represent a global consensus and a shared effort to improve lives everywhere, tying into the overall theme of global development and cooperation. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. This slide doesn't contain enough information. That's why we're moving to the next slide. On September 25, 2015, representatives from 193 heads of state gathered at the United Nations General Assembly. During this historic meeting, they established a set of 17 goals known as the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs for short. Sometimes people call them the global goals. These goals are designed to address some of the world's most pressing challenges. The SDGs are supported by a detailed framework of 169 targets, which together form the core of what's called Resolution of the United Nations, or Agenda 2030. The main idea is that these goals should be achieved by all member states by the year 2030. Now, what's really powerful about these goals is that they serve as a universal call to action. They aim to end poverty, protect our planet, and make sure that everyone can enjoy peace and prosperity. It's a big vision, but it's all about working together across borders and sectors. These goals are broad and interconnected. They cover social, economic, and environmental issues. Because of that, making progress on them is everyone's responsibility. It's a collective effort, and each of us has a role to play in turning these goals into reality. And as we keep exploring this presentation, remember that these goals are not just about policies. They're about creating a better future for all of us. Let's talk about ending poverty in all its forms everywhere. Poverty is often defined as living on less than $1.25 a day, which is an incredibly low threshold. The goal here is to create a world where no one is vulnerable to the impacts of climate change and where everyone has equal rights to economic resources. That means addressing not just income, but also ensuring that vulnerable populations aren't left behind. Economic growth is important, but it has to be inclusive. We need growth that creates sustainable jobs and promotes equality so that the benefits reach everyone, not just a select few. Ultimately, the aim of this goal is to eradicate extreme poverty by the year 2030. It's an ambitious target, but one that's essential for building a fairer, more sustainable world for all of us. Let's talk about one of the most critical goals: ending hunger and achieving food security, better nutrition, and sustainable agriculture. Unfortunately, many people around the world still suffer from hunger and malnutrition, and this mainly affects women and children. These groups are often the most vulnerable and in need of support. The food and agriculture sector plays a vital role here because it offers some of the most effective solutions for development. By focusing on this sector, we can make significant progress toward eradicating hunger and poverty. Some of the key targets for this goal include ending malnutrition, which is essential for healthy development. We also need to protect small farmers, who are often the backbone of local food systems but face many challenges. Protecting the genetic diversity of crops is another important point. Preserving different varieties helps ensure resilience against pests, diseases, and climate change. Finally, investing in research is crucial. Innovation can help us make farming more productive and sustainable, ensuring that we can feed a growing population without depleting our natural resources. Connecting all these points to our overall theme, it's clear that sustainable agriculture and nutrition are fundamental to creating a healthier, more equitable world for everyone. Ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for everyone, no matter their age, is absolutely fundamental to sustainable development. When we talk about this goal, we're emphasizing the need for universal health coverage so that everyone has access to essential health services without financial hardship. It also involves increasing the healthcare workforce to meet the growing demand and reduce the burden of illness worldwide. A key part of this is tackling preventable health issues caused by pollution, which leads to unnecessary suffering and death. And of course, the agenda is comprehensive, addressing major global health challenges like AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis, which continue to impact millions of lives. One simple but powerful action we can all take is vaccinating our families. Not only does vaccination protect our loved ones, but it also contributes to broader public health efforts by preventing the spread of disease. Overall, this goal reminds us that health and well-being are essential for a thriving society, and it connects directly to the bigger picture of sustainable development that benefits everyone, everywhere. Ensuring inclusive and equitable quality education, along with promoting lifelong learning opportunities for everyone, is essential for creating a fair and sustainable future. When we talk about obtaining a quality education, we're really highlighting the foundation it provides for improving people's lives and driving sustainable development around the world. This goal isn't just about getting children into school. It also emphasizes the importance of access to higher education, like university programs, vocational training, and even entrepreneurial skills. These are all crucial for equipping individuals with the tools they need to succeed in a changing world. And on a more immediate level, a simple yet powerful action is helping children in your community to learn to read. Literacy is a fundamental skill that opens doors to countless opportunities and helps build a more equitable society. Remember, by focusing on inclusive education, we're not just helping individuals, we're strengthening communities and working towards a more sustainable and just world for all. Now let's talk about Goal 5, achieving gender equality and empowering all women and girls. Gender equality isn't just a basic human right, it's also a crucial foundation for building a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. When everyone has equal opportunities, we create stronger communities and more resilient societies. Some key targets for this goal include ensuring freedom from discrimination and violence against women and girls, which is essential for their safety and well-being. We also need to promote equal access to leadership roles and responsibilities, so women can participate fully in decision-making processes. Property ownership is another important aspect. When women have control over assets, it enhances their independence and economic security. It's important to note that many of these targets are interpreted with regard to what is appropriate for each country, respecting different cultural contexts while still promoting equality. Another vital point is calling out sexist language and behavior whenever we see it. Challenging stereotypes and biases helps shift societal attitudes towards genuine respect and equality. Ultimately, empowering women and girls benefits everyone, aligning perfectly with our broader goal of creating a fairer, more inclusive world. Ensuring the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for everyone is a fundamental part of creating a better world. Clean, accessible water is not just a luxury, it's a basic necessity for health, dignity, and development. Right now, basic water scarcity affects around 40% of the global population, which is a staggering number. This highlights how urgent it is to address this issue. Our targets include programs that provide access to essential technologies like toilets and latrines, which are crucial for sanitation and hygiene. But it's also about protecting the ecosystems that naturally supply water. These ecosystems are vital for maintaining clean water sources. Another key point is simply avoiding water waste. Small actions, like fixing leaks or using water wisely, can make a big difference. All of this ties back to our overall theme. Ensuring that everyone has reliable access to water and sanitation isn't just a health issue. It's a cornerstone for sustainable development and a better quality of life for all. Ensuring access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for everyone is a crucial goal. Energy is at the heart of nearly every major challenge and opportunity we face today. For instance, about 1.3 billion people around the world still don't have access to electricity, which impacts their quality of life and economic development. The targets for this goal focus on shifting to renewable energy sources, like solar and wind, and significantly improving energy efficiency across all sectors. Small actions, like using only energy-efficient light bulbs or appliances, can make a big difference. By making these changes, we not only help address global inequalities, but also move closer to a more sustainable and resilient energy future for all. This ties directly into our overall theme of creating a better, more equitable world through smarter, cleaner solutions. Let's talk about promoting sustained, inclusive, and sustainable economic growth, along with full and productive employment for everyone. Achieving this requires creating the right conditions in our societies so that people can access quality jobs. It's not just about growth, but about making sure that growth benefits all and is sustainable in the long run. Right now, an estimated 75 million young people between the ages of 15 and 24 are unemployed and out of school worldwide. That's a huge gap we need to close, and one way to do that is through innovation, finding new ways to create opportunities without harming our ecosystems. It's also important to support buying from green companies that are committed to sustainability and are equal opportunity employers. This helps reinforce a cycle where economic growth goes hand in hand with protecting our environment and promoting fairness in the workplace. In the context of our overall goal, these efforts are about ensuring that growth is not just fast, but also inclusive and responsible, so everyone has a chance to thrive. Building resilient infrastructure is a foundational step toward sustainable development. When we invest in solid, adaptable infrastructure, we create the backbone for economic growth and social well-being. This also helps ensure that communities can withstand challenges like climate change and natural disasters. Promoting inclusive and sustainable industrialization is equally important. It means encouraging industries that are environmentally friendly and accessible to all, fostering innovation that benefits everyone, not just a few. Think about how we can get creative with old materials, repurposing and reusing them in new ways. This not only reduces waste, but also sparks innovative approaches to industrial development. Ultimately, these efforts are interconnected. They help us build a more sustainable future where infrastructure, industry, and innovation work hand in hand to improve lives while protecting our planet. Let's talk about reducing inequality within and among countries. The reality is that the world is massively unequal, and addressing this is crucial for sustainable development. To make real progress, policies need to be universal, meaning they should apply broadly, but with a special focus on the needs of disadvantaged and marginalized populations. This ensures that no one is left behind. Some specific targets include regulating financial markets to level the playing field, making migration more orderly, safe, and responsible. This helps protect vulnerable populations and promotes fair opportunities for all. And I want to emphasize the importance of raising our voices against discrimination in all its forms. Combating inequality isn't just about policies, it's about standing up for fairness and justice in our communities and beyond. All of these efforts connect to the broader theme of creating a fairer, more inclusive world where everyone has the chance to thrive. Let's talk about making our cities and human settlements more inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. It's essential that cities become places where everyone has opportunities, whether it's access to basic services like healthcare and education, reliable energy, affordable housing, or efficient transportation. Right now, more than half of the world's population lives in cities, which makes urban development a critical part of achieving our overall sustainability goals. When we think about targets for this goal, we need to focus on issues like improving transportation systems, enhancing disaster preparedness, and protecting our cultural and natural heritage sites. These are all vital for creating resilient cities that can withstand challenges and preserve their unique identities. Additionally, small choices matter, like biking, walking, or using public transportation. Not only do these options help reduce traffic congestion, but they also keep our air cleaner and contribute to healthier communities. So, fostering sustainable cities isn't just about infrastructure. It's about creating environments where everyone can thrive safely and comfortably, now and in the future. Let's talk about ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. This goal is really about making smarter choices in our daily lives and encouraging companies to do the same. It includes reducing food wastage, which is such a big part of the problem. Throwing away perfectly good food not only wastes resources, but also contributes to environmental harm. We also want to focus on corporate sustainability practices, how businesses can operate in a way that's environmentally responsible and socially beneficial. And educating ourselves and others about the impact our lifestyle choices have on the planet is crucial. One simple but effective action we can all take is recycling: paper, glass, plastic, and aluminum. Recycling helps reduce waste that ends up in landfills and conserves natural resources. By adopting these practices and spreading awareness, we can shift towards more sustainable habits that support the overall health of our planet. This ties back to the broader theme of responsible consumption and production. It's about making conscious decisions that benefit both society and the environment. Taking urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts is absolutely essential. Climate change is a global challenge that affects everyone, everywhere, regardless of where we live or our circumstances. It's not just an environmental issue, it's a social and economic one as well. This goal, which we mark with an asterisk, references the Paris Agreement of December 2015. That agreement is a crucial step, as it guides nations worldwide to work together and commit to limiting global warming to no more than 2 degrees Celsius. One of the most powerful ways we can make a difference is by educating young people about climate change early on. When we do this, we put them on a sustainable path from the start, empowering them with the knowledge and motivation to take action. So, in essence, this goal reminds us that immediate, collective effort is needed, because climate change is a challenge that requires our urgent attention, and our future depends on it. Conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Careful management of this vital global resource is essential for securing a sustainable future for everyone. Right now, our oceans face serious challenges. They're overfished, underprotected, and under pressure from climate change and pollution. To tackle these issues, one of our key targets is to promote research and learning, finding out more about what lies beneath the surface, so we can better protect and preserve these ecosystems. And simple actions can make a big difference, like avoiding plastic bags, which often end up in the oceans and harm marine life. By working together and taking responsible steps, we can ensure our oceans remain healthy and vibrant for generations to come. On this slide, we're focusing on the importance of protecting, restoring, and promoting the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystems. The key here is managing our forests responsibly, fighting desertification, and stopping land degradation in its tracks. We also need to address the urgent issue of biodiversity loss, which threatens the balance of life on land. This goal is all about halting the threats that are endangering our natural ecosystems and the countless species that depend on them. It's a reminder that each of us can contribute, planting a tree, for example, or taking steps to help protect our environment. Every action counts when it comes to preserving the health of our planet, and it's crucial for maintaining the balance of life on land. So, as we continue, remember that protecting these ecosystems isn't just about conservation. It's about ensuring a sustainable future for all of us. So on this slide, we're talking about promoting peaceful and inclusive societies, which are essential for sustainable development. When we say access to justice for all, we mean that everyone should be able to seek fair treatment and legal remedies, no matter who they are. It's also about building effective, accountable institutions at every level, local, national, and beyond, that serve the people and earn their trust. The targets here are quite broad but incredibly important. They include reducing violence and ending torture, things that threaten safety and dignity. Fighting corruption is another key point, because corruption undermines trust and hampers progress. Ultimately, we want to create institutions and governments that work for everyone, ensuring fairness and equality. And a crucial part of this is exercising your right to elect leaders. Voting isn't just a civic duty. It's a powerful way to shape the kind of society we want, one that is peaceful, inclusive, and just. When you participate in elections, you're helping to build institutions that truly represent and work for the people. This ties back to the overall theme of sustainable development, because when societies are peaceful and inclusive, everyone benefits and progress becomes sustainable. Now, let's turn our attention to Goal 17. Strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnerships for sustainable development. This goal reminds us that every country, every sector, and every individual has a role to play in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. It's about recognizing that no single entity can do this alone. Collaboration is essential. Specifically, this goal focuses on ensuring that countries have what they need, whether it's funding, capacities, or access to technology, to make real progress on all the other goals. It highlights the importance of building strong partnerships across borders, sectors, and communities. Because, ultimately, sustainable development depends on working together, sharing resources, knowledge, and innovations, to create a more equitable and resilient future for all. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I really appreciate your engagement throughout this presentation. If there's one thing to take away, it's that the ideas we've discussed today are all about making a meaningful impact and driving positive change. Remember, every step we take towards understanding and applying these concepts helps us move closer to our goals. Once again, thank you for being here and for your interest. I look forward to seeing how you apply these insights in your work. Have a great day.